Many businesses make a costly mistake without realizing it. They treat lead handling as if fairness were the same as effectiveness. Every lead gets attention. Every lead gets follow-up. Every lead stays visible in the pipeline. Every lead is treated as if it deserves roughly the same level of energy. On the surface, this looks responsible. It feels disciplined. It feels customer-focused. It feels like the business is giving every opportunity a proper chance to move forward. But equal attention is not the same as smart attention. And in most small businesses, this confusion creates operational waste. Not every lead represents the same level of fit. Not every lead carries the same urgency. Not every lead has the same probability of movement. And not every opportunity deserves the same amount of time, speed, and follow-up pressure. This distinction matters because time inside a business is limited. Attention is limited. Follow-up capacity is limited. Decision quality is limited. When those limits are ignored, the business starts spreading effort evenly across opportunities that are not equal. That is where pipeline quality begins to weaken. Strong opportunities get treated with the same rhythm as weak ones. Low-intent leads remain active longer than they should. High-potential cases do not always receive the speed and focus they deserve. Now, the pipeline may still look full, but fullness is not the same as health. A pipeline becomes harder to trust when attention is allocated without enough discrimination. This is one of the reasons many businesses feel busy without becoming proportionally more effective. They are working the pipeline, but not weighting it properly. The result is subtle at first. More reminders are sent. More conversations remain open. More follow-ups happen across more cases. But clarity does not improve. The business becomes more occupied, not more selective. And selectivity is essential because growth does not come from touching every opportunity equally. It comes from recognizing which opportunities are stronger, which are weaker, which require speed, which require nurturing, and which should stop consuming active effort. Without that discipline, lead management becomes emotionally flat. Everything stays alive. Everything stays possible. Everything appears worth pursuing. But possibility is not the same as probability. And when a business fails to distinguish between the two, it starts investing valuable attention where movement is least likely to happen. That is expensive, not only because time is lost, but because stronger opportunities often suffer while weaker ones remain in circulation. This is why qualification and prioritization are not optional layers. They are part of protecting capacity. A business that cannot separate lead visibility from lead priority will keep confusing activity with intelligent allocation. And once that happens, pipeline effort rises, but pipeline value becomes harder to extract. What makes this problem difficult is that equal attention often feels morally correct. No opportunity is ignored. No lead is dismissed too early. No one can say the business failed to respond. That creates a sense of fairness. But fairness is not the same as operational judgment. A business does not grow by treating all possibilities the same. It grows by recognizing which possibilities deserve immediate energy, which require measured follow-up, and which should remain visible without consuming active attention. That distinction begins with qualification. Qualification is not about rejecting people aggressively. It is about understanding the real weight of an opportunity. Does the lead fit the problem the business actually solves? Is the need specific or vague? Is there real intent or only surface curiosity? Is timing active or purely hypothetical? Is the opportunity moving toward a decision or only staying alive in conversation? These questions matter because lead existence alone does not justify equal effort. A lead can be real without being ready. A lead can be interested without being qualified. A lead can be active without being likely to move. If the business fails to separate these conditions, the pipeline starts becoming visually crowded, but strategically weak. Now, every lead appears to deserve urgency, but urgency applied without discrimination creates distortion. It pushes teams to respond with the same speed, the same pressure, and the same level of follow-up to opportunities that carry very different value. That weakens prioritization. And when prioritization weakens, stronger opportunities often receive less discipline than they should. This is where pipeline effort becomes deceptive. From the outside, the business appears committed. There are messages, calls, reminders, touch points, notes, and ongoing contact. But underneath, effort is being distributed without enough relationship to probability. That is not discipline. It is diffusion. And diffusion is dangerous because it hides waste inside activity. One weak lead may not cost much, but 10 weak leads handled with strong opportunity intensity can consume a large amount of operational capacity. Now the business becomes slower at the exact moment when strong cases require clearer attention. Response quality drops. Follow-up timing weakens. Context becomes harder to maintain, and momentum starts breaking where it mattered most. This is why qualification should never be seen as a sales trick. It is a capacity filter. It protects time. It protects attention. It protects the pipeline from being filled with motion that does not deserve equal pursuit. Prioritization then builds on top of that filter. Qualification asks, what is this opportunity really? Prioritization asks, what level of attention does it deserve now? Those are different questions. A lead may be qualified, but not urgent. A lead may be urgent, but weak in fit. A lead may be early, but strategically important enough to keep warm with lighter follow-up. That is why smart pipeline management does not operate in only two categories: good or bad, active or inactive, interested or not interested. It works with levels of relevance, because not every opportunity deserves the same speed. Not every opportunity deserves the same persistence. And not every opportunity should shape daily priorities equally. When businesses fail to make these distinctions, they usually misread their own workload. They think the pipeline is demanding. In reality, the pipeline is undifferentiated. And undifferentiated work always feels heavier than necessary. That is one of the hidden reasons. Growth becomes harder as lead volume rises. More leads do not automatically create more progress. If the system cannot separate weight from noise, priority from possibility, and movement from mere presence, then additional volume only increases pressure. This is why better lead management is not just about more follow-up. It is about more intelligent allocation. Without that, pipeline activity expands, but pipeline effectiveness does not. When attention is distributed well, the pipeline becomes easier to trust. Not smaller for the sake of being smaller, but clearer in terms of weight, timing, and likely movement. This is what many businesses miss. They assume a healthy pipeline is a full pipeline, but fullness without prioritization creates false confidence. A better standard is different. A healthy pipeline is one where stronger opportunities receive stronger attention, weaker opportunities do not consume disproportionate effort, and every lead is handled at a level that matches its actual value. That is what makes the system more effective. Follow-up becomes more intentional, timing becomes more precise, Urgency becomes more credible, and capacity is no longer spread evenly across opportunities that are not equal. This also improves forecasting. When the business knows which leads deserve immediate energy, which require lighter nurturing, and which no longer justify active pursuit, pipeline visibility becomes more honest. Now, activity is no longer confused with progression. The business can see where momentum is likely to build, where it is only being maintained artificially, and where attention should be reduced instead of increased. That changes the quality of decisions. Less effort is wasted protecting weak opportunities. More effort is available for the cases that can actually move. This is the real value of prioritization. Not being selective for appearance, not rejecting leads unnecessarily, but matching attention to probability, fit, timing, and realistic movement. When that discipline exists, growth becomes lighter because the business is no longer asking every opportunity to carry the same weight. It is reading the pipeline more accurately and responding with proportion. And when attention is finally allocated with enough discrimination, the pipeline stops feeling crowded and starts becoming useful.